Perhaps only Apple can achieve the best value for money. It's not like the brand new Apple iPhone 16 Pro hasn't even warmed up yet, and it's already undergoing surgery. I'm sure everyone understands. Nowadays, when it comes to new Apple devices, you can tell just by looking at their appearance. Gone are the days of the Jobs-era expertise. In plain language, there's not much innovation. Last year, they added a mute switch. This year, they've added a camera button. Will they add a phone dialing button next year? Haha, the new phone hasn't been in use for a few days before Brother Sean got his hands on it, and it's definitely not because there's a problem. Haha, it's due to the 18 gigabytes of storage space, which already seems out of place in the 2024 app ecosystem. So, let's give it a one-step solution. Of course, those who can afford Apple products are not short on money, but they understand how to achieve the best value for money, and this is no exception for this year's iPhone 16. From our analysis of the official website, the current sale price for the iPhone 16 Pro is $7,999, but if you want to buy one, you have to spend an extra 5,000 yuan. What does that mean? Even the landlord's foolish son would know. 5,000 yuan can buy you a mid to high-end domestic phone. This shows how much Cook desires money. So that's why this guy, even before the machine is officially released, has already scheduled an expansion upgrade with us, and it's not the first time he's done this. So, do you think he's foolish or smart? Last year's iPhone 15 Pro required disassembly from the top of the screen, but this year's iPhone 16 Pro has switched to a glass panel at the bottom that integrates the glass cover, which is attached using double-sided adhesive. Similarly, we need to soften the adhesive with alcohol to disassemble it. After opening the back cover, what you see is Apple's all-new designed steel frame. The battery's silver finish and other components together give it a more high-tech look. However, if you're not careful, it could explode. The impact might be quite significant, so during usage, brothers, be very careful to avoid bumps and drops. The disassembly of the components is somewhat similar to that of the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus. First, remove the integrated back glass, then disconnect the other connectors one by one, and the main board is taken out. The shape of the main board is not much different from previous iPhone Pro series. The storage, hard drive, is still mounted on the surface of the main board, which makes it very convenient for our storage expansion. If the storage were installed internally, it wouldn't be so easy to handle. In fact, the storage in the iPhone 16 is currently out of stock in the market, but the size of this storage is identical to that of the iPhone 14 and iPhone 15 series. It seems that for 3 consecutive generations, Apple has not changed this type of storage. The storage, which hasn't changed in shape, is almost universally compatible across Apple's mini series, so many brothers are debating whether changing the storage would affect the phone's read and write speeds. In fact, if it's compatible, it runs just the same, because it's too new, the molds haven't been updated yet. Therefore, we first use the traditional disassembly method, applying high-temperature heat for disassembly. First, remove the adhesive around the edges of the storage, then use a heat gun to apply high-temperature heat. The suction cup removed gives a feeling similar to a knife cut, which means that the main board is completely intact and unharmed. Only professionals would understand this. The adhesive at the bottom of the storage is also sealed with black glue. We also need to clean the solder pads, using an air gun to level out the solder points on the pads, and then trim the edges around them. This time, the upgraded storage is only the same as that of the iPhone 14 and iPhone 15 series. First, install the new storage directly into the chassis, mount it onto the main board, then reapply high temperature using the sealing gun to heat and reach the melting point of the adhesive inside. The storage will show signs of activation, and it is now very simply installed. After all, it's a new phone storage upgrade. Reapplying adhesive is essential. We will skip over the detailed process of resealing the adhesive, completely clean the board layers, and reapply the protective stickers, then reinstall the main board back into the chassis. For phone repairs, upgrading and expanding the storage is beneficial. It's like a minimally invasive surgery. You might choose not to perform it, but what troubles you is constant notifications about insufficient storage. This is the limiting factor, and insufficient storage not only affects space, it also impacts the device's performance and heat generation and read/write speeds. For those brothers frequently troubled by insufficient storage, let me say, after reinstalling all components, we proceed to test the firmware flashing process. Oh, Apple may change the packaging, but not the formula. The storage is still universal. The firmware flashing progress appears, which means the storage is universal across the iPhone 14, iPhone 15, and iPhone 16 generations. Apple not only hasn't changed the exterior, they even saved on the internals. In the end, the firmware flashing is successful, and the device booted up into the system. Now, let's take a look. The original 18 gigabytes of storage has been successfully upgraded to 2 terabytes of storage, saving this guy a full 4,000 yuan. Now he can enjoy the top-tier 1 terabyte model. Nice, finally. We must go through the tedious standard installation process and restore the phone's water and air tightness. Many people might wonder what this operation is, that someone would actually take a brand new and still under warranty device for repair. Brothers, this is all for saving money. This is the issue we mentioned at the beginning: newly launched Apple iPhones and how to obtain them. Most cost-effective option, of course. For some people, they worry that the 1-year warranty will be voided, but based on our many years of usage and repair experience, Apple's quality up to now is second to none. Under normal usage, it won't get damaged for several years. Of course, if you're using an Android charger, then it's hard to say those in the know understand. And as for you, acquiring Apple's cost-effectiveness in this way, do you think it's worth it?